Hey guys, it's Mr. 2014 here. Today I have a very special mini unboxing and review of the first potential iPad beta. It's the new Sony Xperia Tablet Z. Before this I had an iPad 2, then an Nexus 7, then an Asus TF600T. And the Nexus 7 and the Asus TF600T were severely lacking. Like, compared to the iPad, they were nothing. The iPad 2 destroyed all of them. And now Apple's new iPad, the current iPad 4 has one of the highest resolutions of any tablet on the market, which is a very appealing aspect, but we'll get into that later. Okay. Now, to start the unboxing, it comes in a very nice cardboard box that has all the specs on the back. Shows you that it's water resistant. In the States, it's in Europe, it's PlayStation certified. Sadly, we don't get that aspect here in South Africa, which sucks. The various specs: camera, processor, it's USB, HD camera, and the dimensions of the tablet. Okay, now I have had this for 2 months, so I have opened it before. I think 2 months is a very appropriate review time for this tablet. You can see I did a fairly dodgy job of putting the screen protector on. So yeah, you get your tablet. It will come with two pieces of plastic film and then wrapped in a foam, thing. The plastic film will be on either side of the tablet. And you'll get, obviously underneath here, you will find your manuals and information. Gives you a special option. I haven't used this. I don't know what it is. So if you guys want to use that, there's a free ID. Startup guide and SAR information, FCC, variety of, radio and legal stuff in there. And then you get your charger, which is just a USB and a USB plug-in for your wall. I believe it is, I don't know how to do it, but you can take the top off the USB part and just buy depending on where you live in either America or Europe or Asia. And then my one at least came with a free charging cradle, which I'll grab out here, which has this got a piece of aluminum at the, and yeah, you just plug instead of plugging it straight into the tablet, you plug the charger into the back here, and you've got yourself a charging cradle. I don't personally use this that much. I'm not a fan of them, but it's a pretty nifty free feature. Well, it's pretty cool if you're getting it for free. Okay, cool. Well, now we're done with the specs. The price. In South Africa, it's 8,750 Rand, which is around $875. Which is way more than its competitor, the iPad. And we'll get into that a bit more depth, since these only come in 16 gig models. And the 16 gig iPad with 3G is around 6,500, I think, which is $650. So it's quite a considerable amount cheaper. So that's one aspect where the Sony is lacking. So the tablet itself comes stock with Android 4.1.2. It is 266 by 172 by 6.9 millimeters. So it's incredibly thin, and it's got a really nice flat back. It has a TFT LCD display at 1920 by 1200 pixels at 224 pixels per inch. So nice screen, but another area where the iPad is beating it is the screen. Okay, cool. The battery, this rivals the iPad in battery. Is a 6,000 milliamp battery, which will give you 37.1 days or 890 hours on standby. Okay, now the hardware. This is where the the Sony comes into its own, and this is why one of the reasons I reckon it's an iPad beater. It comes with Qualcomm's latest Snapdragon S4 Pro. It's one of the fastest tablet processors out there at the moment. It's got an Adreno 320 GPU, 2 gigs of RAM. I think the iPad 4 only comes with 1. Built-in storage, 16 gigs. Sadly, only 11.6 of it is usable because the OS of Sony's tweaked Android OS is huge because they've added that mobile Bravia engine, whatever it's called, in there. And it can take out any micro SD card up to 64 gigs. That's a huge plus. Obviously, that's another reason Android tablets, another plus to beating Apple, is the expandable storage. Now, another big plus for me is the camera in this. In my opinion, iPad cameras suck. I dislike them. They don't deal with low light very well. Yeah, it's just a bad camera in general. So this comes with an 8.1 megapixel camera that records in 1080p and has a high dynamic range mode, which I believe the iPad 4 does not have. And then it's got a front-facing 2.2 megapixel camera that records at 720p. I'm not sure what the megapixels are of the iPad's camera. I believe it's either 2.2 or 1.2. Now, this is water resistant up to 5 meters for, I think it's 10 minutes. And then it's also dust resistant. It's got these nifty little sealed covers on, so every port is sealed. And then the build quality is really good. Another really big plus for me. I find 99% of Android tablets are lacking heavily in build quality, especially Samsung. That's just like cheap plastic crap. But this really nice matte black polycarbonate, and then glossy on the back and on the edges, on the front and on the edges, with a little bit of matte on each corner and on the trimmings. So that's really good. Okay, the OS itself, well, the UI itself, so I really like Sony's UI. It's better than TouchWiz in my opinion, and iOS. Well, iOS 7 looks very pretty now, so it's debatable now, but way smoother than iOS 6, especially for what it does with the sort of when you swipe with the screen, and all the widgets. Some of the Sony's widgets are very, very pretty. Okay, my opinion on this tablet, why it is better than, why it is the first Android capable of being an iPad killer. It's the iPad has always just been an amazing user experience. Using the iPad is it's simplistic, it's enjoyable. It's, you know, an 80-year-old woman can pick it up for the first time and learn how to use it. So that's Android tablets have always been a bit complicated, a bit sluggish compared to iPads in terms of transitions and stuff like that. This is the first Android tablet that I've used, which I've used the Infinity Prime, the Asus Infinity Prime, the Nexus 7, the Nexus 10, a Samsung Galaxy Tab 10.1, actually 2 of them, a Galaxy Note 10.1. This is the first one of the first Android tablet that even comes close to providing a user experience like the iPad. It's very simple, like Apple's UI, but it's customizable for any Android geek that just wants to redo everything to his preferences. So that's then the hardware in this is obviously a lot better than an iPad, a lot faster, better GPU. The Android App Store is very quickly catching up to the Apple App Store in terms of quality. Every day you're getting new and amazing top quality apps, and even some apps that you won't find on Apple, like Office Suite or SwiftKey. I mean, SwiftKey is a fantastic app. Okay, on to the conclusion. This, in my opinion, is the first Android tablet worthy of being called an iPad beater. But it all comes down to your personal preference and what you expect from your tablet. Whether you just want a casual tablet, or you want something that can be used for work and play, or something just for play. And depending on whether you want the right to jailbreak or root your device, but still maintain your warranty to a certain extent. You know, so yeah, it just comes down to user preference all in all. But for me, as a tech-savvy user, somebody who enjoys technology, someone who uses it on an everyday basis at school and for play and work, I just find this. And I actually had an iPad 3. I forgot to mention that, which I got rid of fairly quickly. But this just beats. This is the first Android tablet that's done it for me out of everything I've used, as I listed earlier. But again, it comes down to user preference. So overall, I'd give the iPad series in general, besides for the iPad 1, that from the iPad 2 onwards, I'd give 4 out of 5. And for this, I'd give it 4.5 out of 5. So yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed this mini review / mini unboxing. And I'll see you in the next video.